down 1,000 times. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear.
Welcome to the show, guys. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor. Got an exciting one here for you. We are talking about boom players. And online with me, I've got Fantasy's First Lady, Gwen. Gwen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I like your hat, but I don't like that you're not a real Eagles fan. So
I am a true Eagles Jalen Hurts fan. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm wearing this Eagles hat, and you're the true Eagles fan. And I'm saying, like, I look like I'm an Eagles fan, but behind me I've got a Cowboys helmet, which really doesn't make sense at all, does it?
No. A real Eagles fan would never have any Cowboys item in their household. So
nothing at all. So I'm excited about today's show. We're talking about 6 boom upside, huge upside players, guys that could go to the moon, the ceiling. I just have this high ceiling. Those guys that could really take off and be those Grand Slam league winners on your team. So we're talking fantasy football boom players for 2023. Exciting show. Gwen, I think this is like our 4th show together. How have you been feeling? How have the listeners been gravitating to you? Have they been positive, negative? What are you seeing from some of the listeners?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a lot of positive feedback. I think the only negative feedback really is people that agree with all of your picks and not mine. But I'm getting more women. I have some of my friends and some females that have reached out to me on Instagram that I'm not friends with. That one girl specifically from Philadelphia who reached out and has given me positive feedback. So I think we're pulling in some more females, which is great to have in the sport in general and in fantasy as well.
People are getting used to you. There's not a lot of women, or none at all really, that give fantasy football analysis. So some guys are like, oh, I'm not taking advice from her. What does she know? She's a football player. I don't know what else to tell you. Because you always complain about me saying I've never played football, which I played maybe a couple weeks in high school, but that's not the point. So they always rip on me for not playing football, but I've done MMA, I've done sports, I play tennis, I've done other sports, I've Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and they're always ripping on me. But now we've actually got someone who plays football and understands offensive schemes and defense and how to play and play calling and all route running and all that stuff. So yeah,
exactly.
I mean,
That's what they don't understand. It's like even if you go to my Instagram page, you can scroll down and there's tons of videos of me playing, and I've been playing for 10 years, and so I definitely know what I'm talking about here. So
listen, we don't got to prove nothing. We're just trying to give people some context and give them a little bit about you, right? So. Sure. Yeah, we didn't just pull you off the streets and say, "Hey, you want to jump on Joe's podcast here? Or I like the hair color, you know what I mean? Nothing like that." So it works out. So I'm excited. We're talking 6 boom players. I just want to touch a little bit on the news, because what happens with our shows, Gwen, is that people listen to it daily, obviously, but this show gets picked up, like they watch it in August as well. They're looking at boom players. We come up on the search engine and bam, there we are. Boom. There we are, literally speaking. So I just want to touch on the news. Couple of things in the news going on right now. Saquon Barkley, the max contract offer they're giving him is like $19 million. I think it's 1 or 2 years, something like that. That's all he's getting. So he might hold out. Josh Jacobs might hold out because they want to tag him as well. And at the time of this recording, Treylon Burks may end up having company, as the Titans are the heavy hitting favorite to acquire DeAndre Hopkins at the time of this recording. But if you're listening to this in August, this has already happened, and you're like, Joe, what are you talking about? But right now, as we're recording it now, what's the date today? July 13th?
13th, yeah.
14th. 13th. It's like, this we recorded on 13th. It's coming up to the 14th.
Oh,
yeah. So get with the program, Gwen. So basically, you got to be boom, laser. I had to look at the calendar too. Don't get me wrong. So anyway, this news is happening. Very big impact. So as of right now, I'm staying away from Saquon Barkley. Boom type of potential, but I'm obviously concerned if he holds out, then he's pretty much useless to everybody, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Stay away. All right, let's go through this. So you've got 3 boom players. I've got 3 boom players, and I'm excited to dive into this. The first one here, let's go into it, is I think he's a boom player. And you know what's sad? Not even sad, but we agree. Like, I thought we were going to argue because people were saying that you are part of I was saying you're part of the Kashibs. You and Tim always tend to disagree with me, but I think this episode we're going to probably agree. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to agree on this. From the players you at least listed, I think most of them I agree with. So
okay, so I pulled up the first one, Chris Olave. What do you think? Why do you love Chris Olave so much? By the way, his average draft position right now is 3rd round, which is pretty good for a wide receiver one that could boom. Why do you like Olave so much?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's now getting a competent quarterback with Derek Carr coming in, and in his rookie year, he was able to put up over 1,000 yards with awful quarterback play. I think we should expect a huge boom from him. If Carr performs at the normal level we expect from him, and I don't see if there's any reason why we can't get close to the numbers, or if there's any reason he can't get close to the numbers that Devontae Adams had last year, which was like 1,500 yards for 14 touchdowns, I think.
180 targets or something crazy like that. It was like a lot of targets, and he kept feeding him. So Olave could be that guy for sure.
Yes, I think so. So I like him as a boom player.
Yeah, I mean, coming into his 2nd year, and again, he showed flashes of potential greatness last year, like consistently producing with like weirdo quarterbacks throwing to him, guys that have, just weren't special at all. He's going to take a level up this year for sure. And he's got a true quarterback one throwing to him. And really, we know from years' experience, quarterbacks make wide receivers. Love the value, love the upside. And we are talking serious boom potential. Out of this world. I'm excited about it, okay? So, are you drafting him? I am, round 3. I did a mock draft actually with Jim today, and I ended up taking him, but then I was kind of like thin on the running backs I wanted. So that's a decision. Am I looking at like a Jahmyr Gibbs? And decisions we got to make as fantasy owners, Gwen. It's a tough life.
Yeah, such a tough life.
All right. Let's go here with the second one here. That's a boom player. I'm going to pull him up here. This is my guy.
Yeah. Who's your guy?
Garrett the Carrot Wilson. Listen, I love this guy, man. To the moon. And why do I love him? Because again, it's kind of weird. We got some more Aaron Rodgers history here. Aaron Rodgers kind of really did it with Adams years ago. And now he's comparing, kind of Garrett Wilson. I hear there's comparisons to Adams. So if he has any type of similar year to Adams did years ago when he was with Rodgers, we've got ourselves a huge upside wide receiver. His numbers looked amazing last year. Again, with like guys like Zach Wilson. Again, bottom feeder quarterbacks that don't even matter. He's got Aaron Rodgers now, right? So I don't know. I feel really good about Garrett. Are you excited about him? And you being a wide receiver, you probably watched some tape on him. He looks special, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely looks special. And this is one I agree with you on. I think anybody who's watched the other shows that I've been on, I've talked about him and how much I like him. So yes, I agree with you on this one for sure.
And what I like, again, these are high ceiling players that like could really take off top at their position, really. Like they have that ceiling. And that's what I like. These are your league winners, guys that, again, just have a massive ceiling and the sky is the limit. That's what I want to emphasize because some people may not understand how big the ceiling is. And that's what we got with these guys. Your next player here, I see a ceiling. I see more of a safety blanket more than a ceiling, but I'll let you introduce him. Who do you got as your third person?
So I picked Naji Harris as my person for this.
I like him.
Yeah, I think he played well after coming back from a foot injury during training camp. I think people forget that for the first half of the season, he was playing with a steel plate in his shoe, and he didn't perform like what we were used to. But after the bye week and the final 9 games, he started to look like the old Naji and put up big numbers. I think he averaged 20 touches and 90 yards from the scrimmage with 7 touchdowns. So I expect a big boom from him this year now that he's coming in healthy. And I think he's going to put up those numbers the whole year. I don't know what you think.
And that's the thing. Sometimes we tend to forget with his foot. It was his foot, right? That was messed up, I think. So
it was a foot injury.
We tend to forget about that. Like we're like, okay, yeah. Like, so that was the thing. So he looked a little lackluster, 3.8, 3.9 yards per carry. Improved O-line right now, which is amazing. Kenny Pickett, second year, settled in. Wide receivers integrated in place. Pat Freiermuth there. Pickens, you got all these guys, less stacked boxes, tons of weapons. Kenny Pickett, from what I hear, coaching staff saying Kenny Pickett is the real deal. He's set to go this year. So tons of ceiling. Again, that improved O-line is amazing. Naji Harris, sky's limit. He's the guy. Now they got, who's that? Jalen Warren or the backup there. Could be a factor, but everybody's got a backup. Everyone's got they got to have some depth at the position. As much as I like workhorse running backs, Najee should still be the guy. And what happens, Gwen, every single year is people tend to forget how well he did his rookie year. He had over 1,200 yards, right? But he was getting a lot of checkdowns from Big Ben. Things changed last year a little bit. Obviously, like I said, the injury, the quarterbacks, I think Trubisky started the year. Things were trying to work themselves out. So it was a transitional change of a year. This year, Najee to the moon, second round ADP, end of second round ADP. You got yourself a safe, solid running back. But again, people are fearful and scared because he did look a little lackluster last year, right? I mean, for the reasons we explained.
Exactly. So
have no fear. Naji Harris is here. There's my rhyme. I try to make jokes. If there's no sound effects, there's jokes. That's how I roll. And some people are saying like I was too nice to you or something like that. I'm not nice. Why are they saying I'm nice now? I don't understand. I don't want to be nice.
I'm not sure. I don't think.
Well, they were saying I'm harder on the bald guy with certain picks. I want to be just as hard on you and even harder than the bald guy. But the bald guy kind of fights back, and he's always trying to piss me off. And you're not so much trying to piss me off as he is, so I'm not as harsh on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I respectfully disagree with you.
That's it. Tim's more like, shut up, Joe. You know what I mean? So I kind of
until you start talking about my people, like my Eagles or Saquon, any Penn Staters and Miles Sanders. Yeah, I know you don't like him, but that's when we're gonna have a problem.
And believe me, I would be talking about them, but they're doing so well right now. How do you make fun of it? What am I gonna say about the Eagles? Like, what could I possibly say? Oh, Jalen Hurts sucks. I can't say anything yet. But as soon as they suck, you'll be hearing about it first.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still mad at them for the Super Bowl. So, but we don't.
I could bug you with that, but they made it to the Super Bowl, so I can't really knock them.
Right. So,
okay,
who's your next pick?
All right, so I wanted to write this on the text below, and I wanted to say giddy about Gibbs. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. Listen, I love this guy. I cannot express to you how amazing he looks on tape. Like literally, like I'm giddy about him. There's no other word. I would say another word, but it's not a nice word. It'd be like Deshaun Watson territory again if I say how I really feel about Jahmyr Gibbs for fantasy
play
football.
That sound effect.
Okay, guys, listen carefully. This is Deshaun Watson. If you guys didn't listen to the last episode, you get to listen. Listen. That's how
you feel about Gibbs.
That's how I feel. I'm excited. But the problem is David Montgomery. You were talking about him in our last episode. Yeah. Listen, I like Montgomery as a goal line guy, and he could be a pest, but there's so much volume to be had. There's over 400 plus attempts. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to eat. He's going to eat. You don't just draft a guy, with your first overall pick when you have other needs you need to address. They saw something on tape. I know it's the same thing that I saw. Jahmyr Gibbs is elite talent. And I've said this, and I don't care if I sound like a broken record, Gwen. We need a broken record sound, by the way. I do not care. The fact of the matter is they wanted Swift to be special. They wanted that amazing pass-catching running back. Swift couldn't do it, and everybody thought he was. Everyone had the Kaships had, Swift as a top 10 guy last year amongst running backs. I said, avoid Swift. He's not that good. Gets hurt. And then Jahmyr Gibbs is that guy. Are you excited about Gibbs? Have you watched tape on him? Be honest. Have you actually seen tape?
No, I have. And we've talked about him before. So I agree with everything you're saying for him. And I like him too. So.
And if you don't believe me and Gwen, go right now and just go to YouTube. Literally, just go get your computer, get your phone, and just put Jahmyr Gibbs highlights. And that's all you got to do. And just watch the tape. Watch the tape. That's it. Let's move on. All right, so who is your next person here that you love? Has the sky is the limit? I think we're going to fight on this one. Actually, I know who it is. Go ahead. Who is it?
Ramone Stevenson.
Yeah, he's on the Patriots.
So honestly, I was on Damian Harris last year, and I was very wrong. Even with Harris getting injured, Stevenson dominated touches and production. He runs hard, but he's elusive, and he's going to get a lot of volume being the only solid back on the team, I think. And they brought in James Robinson, and he didn't even make it past July. So that tells me that the team has a lot of confidence in Ramondre. So I don't know. What do you think?
Patriots, like that's the problem.
I don't like the Patriots, but
they always go by committee. Bill Belichick hates your fantasy football team. Bill Belichick's a dick. I don't know how else to tell you. He doesn't care. That's my concern. And there was rumors that they're flirting with Dalvin Cook, but so is Miami, and so is the Jets, and that's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. I just have this gut feeling that there's going to be a buzzkill. They're going to bring in a Zeke Elliott. They're going to bring in somebody who's going to take away at least 150 rushing attempts. I don't think, like, the way that it sits now, it looks amazing on paper, amazing. And if they actually acquire Hopkins, which again, we just heard that he's probably going to the Titans, if they acquire Hopkins, that could be a good thing because again, less stacked boxes, more Stevenson, room for him to run, right? As of right now, July 13th, 14th.
14th.
Sometimes we record the evening before. Okay, July 14th when you're listening to this. Okay, got it. It looks good, but, I don't think it's going to stay that way. I don't trust Uncle Bill. I really don't.
Uncle Bill.
Uncle Bill Belichick. All right, next one here, and you've got some accountability to be held for here. It's Herbo time, and I want to give credit to that. There's one of my listeners, I think it's Brent, that listens to my stuff, and he actually recommended. I think it's Brent. I apologize if I got it wrong. I got so much on my mind right now. He recommended, I watch with the wife and I. We watch Jingle All the Way. Have you seen Jingle All the Way with Arnold, the Christmas movie?
No, and people are gonna probably rip me apart in the comments for this because I'm not a big movie watcher. I like to be outside playing football or sports,
which is fine. But have you watched Home Alone?
Yes, I've seen Home Alone.
Oh my goodness, I was like, okay. So Jingle All the Way, it's about this dad Arnold who has to get this doll at Christmas and it's sold out everywhere, right? And it's Turbo Man, right? It's like a Turbo Man doll. So he goes, it's Turbo time, right? It's like a thing. Yes. So now we've come up with this guy, Brent, one of my listeners, our listener. He's followed my page. He's probably following you too now. So he's actually come up with Herbo time. So do you like it? Is it catchy or what?
I think it's catchy. It's a cute little name. I did make fun of it on the previous show, but
it's Herbo time. I like it. All right. So yeah, Justin Herbert, love him. Contract year. Love the upside. Love the talent. Quentin Johnston, who you're not a fan of. I love Quentin Johnston. That bottom line, I love him. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care because everyone's ripping on me on this Quentin Johnston. I know I'm really inflating his value, and I get it. But I love him. New offensive coordinator Kellen Moore comes in. There's a change there. He's going to throw the ball downfield. Maybe his wide receivers actually stay healthy for once with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Listen, I love Justin Herbert this year. The sky is really the limit.
Yeah.
You don't like Herbert.
No. Okay. So I do want to make it clear because in that draft date or ditch show it was not a good group of people, so I ditched him. The date thing kind of threw me off.
Can't ditch him. He looks like a Disney character.
He looks like I don't like the pretty boy look, but no, it doesn't mean I don't like him. I like him actually as a player and I think I like him for fantasy because of all the weapons that he has. But I would rather have one of the top guys a few rounds earlier. So
he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
I'm sure, but that doesn't matter.
Nice guys finished last with you by the looks of it. I didn't know that.
No. All right. That's funny. I'm sure people are going to hop in the comments on that.
All right. So Justin Herbert, love him. Boom potential. Sky's the limit. And I'm getting him in rounds 5 to 7. So if you sleep on Herbert, you may lose the Herbo time. All right. So that's it. Those are our boom. Am I missing anybody? I think we got everybody.
Yeah, I think we covered.
So Chris Olave.
Yep.
That's your guy. Love him too. Garrett Wilson. Love him. Aaron Rodgers. Pulling them up here. We got Naji Harris. Again, improved O-line. No foot issues, hopefully, right? Workhorse running back. Jahmyr Gibbs, who I absolutely love. Go watch the tape on him. Seriously, go right now. Go watch tape on him. And then we got, Justin Herbert, right? We just talked about him. Herbo time.
Ramondre, yeah.
And Stevenson. But again, I'm having a hard time trusting Uncle Bill. I think he's going to screw that situation. We're going to find out as we get close to the season, really.
Yeah. So we agreed on all of them but one this time.
Yeah, I thought we'd have more of a battle. I thought we'd have more of a battle, but it turned out that we got along a little bit more this episode. So
yeah, it must be the Eagles hat.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm going to wear a different hat for the next day. So make sure you guys do subscribe, thumbs up, drop a boom player below, and get the 16-round draft solution. Use code SMASH to save. Get 16 rounds, secure the solution, secure the championship. Gwen, any last words for the people listening looking for boom players?
I think Naji Harris is going to be a great pick.
Back on the Naji Harris.
Yes.
All right, go get Naji Harris. We're out. Thanks, Gwen. We'll talk soon, everybody.
Okay.
We're out.